Welcome, Eurovision fans across from Europe and Australia. Welcome to Eurovision World, the YouTube channel where we do pretty much anything to a Eurovision. Eurovision choir, Eurovision dance, Eurovision young dance, Eurovision young musician, junior Eurovision, and Melody Festival, all the versions that select your Eurovision and junior Eurovision and Eurovision winners, players and whoever, and whatever. So, to start off this channel properly, you have to ask yourself, Tom, what is Eurovision choir? Well, according to the EBU website, here is what Eurovision choir is. This is all from the EBU website. Obviously, they're linking it to the last show that was aired, which was in 2019, and if you see me looking down, it's because I'm using a new camera that I'm testing from college, because I wanted to test it myself. And I needed it for a college project I was doing, which you'll see on Tom's Comedy Comes Soon, hopefully. I'm currently just doing the timer, see how long I've been recording for, so let's just pop you down there. And if you see me leaning down, it's because I'm trying to keep it awake. So, here is what the EBU say, what Eurovision choir is. And since I started wanting to make this version of the video, I did find a non-commentary version of Eurovision choir. It's very hard to do that, but it has subtitles in, I think it's probably Danish, but that doesn't actually affect the whole thing. So, here is what it is. So, Eurovision choir brings together Europe's best AMATEUR vocal groups in an exciting competition that celebrates different traditions, language, and the joy of singing. 10 amazing countries compete in the second Eurovision choir in Gothenburg on the Saturday, 3rd of August 2019. All of the performers have an uncompromised section of music in a variety of styles, taking viewers on a colourful journey across Europe in the search for the CONTINENT-S pre-elemented AMATEUR vocal groups. Vocal Line from Denmark were named as the winner of the competition. Dun 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 dun. Yes, it's one I saw. It's on YouTube. So, the show. The second edition of Eurovision choir took place at the Partille Arena, Gothenburg, Sweden, on the 3rd of August 2019. The event was combined with the open ceremony of the Europe Choir Games, and we produced in partnership with the Swedish names. The EBU was host broadcaster, with crew and production design supplied by NEP Sweden and the broadcast family. The show was hosted by BBC's Patrik Trelawny and SVT's Ella Pettersson, and adjusted by Sweden's name, a founder member of a cappella ensemble, the real group, British composer and conductor John Rutter, and US producer and arranger D.E.K.E. Sharon. So, what really is Eurovision choir? That's all the information from you. Well, Eurovision, the choir, is a performance of songs. So Wales and Scotland separately are in it. We're never in it as the UK. So what it is that 10 countries from across Europe. Don't know if Australia are involved in this one, but they are involved in making music in a choir. A choir, for anyone that doesn't know, is a group of people singing all at once. Sometimes the choirs are good, sometimes the choirs are bad, but these win, right, instead of a Eurovision where you win to get to host the next one, which is what, say, with Junior Eurovision is, but with this, you win to get to go to the Eurovision Choir Games, which is like a World Eurovision music type version of like a World Cup or an Olympics type thing. So you have like, oh, here are your a cappella groups, here are your groups with a brass band, or here is a group that are 4 people and a squirrel and a hedgehog, I don't know, examples. So, Eurovision Choir is amazing. Now, we haven't had one because the reason why we haven't had one since 2019 is because there was a lack of funding, actually. Because there wasn't enough countries that wanted to participate. They couldn't do it. But this time, I don't know where they've got the participants from, but now they've got enough participants to make the 10, and they've got enough money to fund it now. Because the EBU were bashing around ideas. They've got so much to do, not just Eurovision, not just the Eurovision brand, which is dance, whatever I said at the beginning. Not just the brand, but they've also got other stuff to do because they're not just a Eurovision body. They're also the European Broadcasting Union. So why am I interested in Eurovision the choir? Why am I, who hasn't been in a choir since they were in primary school, interested in Eurovision choir? Well, I'm interested in Eurovision, Junior Eurovision. I want to learn all about the other Eurovisions. I mean, choir is the third best one. Because Eurovision, Junior Eurovision, Eurovision choir. Just because I just don't really like much dance programs. I don't really watch Strictly or Dance with the Stars or whatever version title it's called in any country that you're watching from. So I sort of only intrigue myself in that really well, so I know a lot about it now because I've done a lot of research, and I know that they've got Denmark were. I watched the whole thing. Denmark were extraordinary. They deserve to win, right? I don't know what anyone else is gonna say, but Denmark were extraordinary. They were phenomenal. I highly recommend you track it down. It is on YouTube. I don't know how I found it. I think I just typed in Eurovision the choir, and it came up with a no commentary version, because the commentaries, when you're not speaking that language, it's hard to grasp. Because sometimes the commentators like talk over the opening bit when the band were doing "Mamma Mia, here I go again." Yeah, they were doing that. But I do think Eurovision the choir, it needs a bigger audience than what it's got. It needs like a Eurovision, Junior Eurovision type audience, because it's not as big as Eurovision. And Junior Eurovision have got more people involved, more countries involved, whereas Eurovision the choir have less people involved. If that makes any sense at all, they have less people involved, so that there's less, but there is more English people in it, so British people are in it, but the Scotland and Wales angle of it, they're speaking Gaelic, Scottish Gaelic and Welsh Gaelic. I think Ireland are involved, I'm not too sure. I know they're involved in Junior Eurovision. But I do think Eurovision choir works really well, because it's choirs and sort of like, you have bands and music and it works well on your own, but in a choir, they sound phenomenal. I mean, generally, Eurovision is quite incredible. I wanted to upload a video onto this channel where I showed one of my favourite performances of all time from Eurovision the choir, but we got copyrighted to here in high water, so we won't be doing that. So yeah, what is Eurovision the choir? Eurovision the choir is a music-based singing competition from across Europe, not sure about Australia, where choirs across 10 countries across Europe sing to battle out to win a place at the World Choir World Games, World Champion Games. And this is my video, and that is what is Eurovision the choir. So I'll remember to keep singing, keep enjoying, and good night Europe, and good morning Australia. I'll try to do the ending that they do on the end of Eurovision. I'll work on it.